So today I'm with some lovely people who've helped me with the series. So we're going to start with the introductions. So who wants to go first?
Hey, I'm WowGirl13, better known as Vanna. I am a small voice actor, but I'm also the main editor of the Doctor Who scripts.
Hello, I'm Kat Wrights. I play the lovely title character, the Doctor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason. I play Haley Stokes in the script.
And I'm Cosmos Projections with the worst sounding YouTube channel name. Yes, I write the series. I play some characters. Or as some people will probably say to me, I play all the characters.
Just plays literally everyone else.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we got a lot of questions here from you all, but we got most of them deal with the series, the actual My God Doctor Who series itself, but one of them's actually to do with the actual show. Okay, so we're starting off with a question from Wendrin123. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, I do apologise. If you could pick one story from the entire series that you didn't like or think doesn't hold up too well, classic and revived combined, what would you do to change or better that story? Can't choose the timeless children, as that be cheating. Okay, so who wants to go first, or do you want me to go first? I'm guessing I need to go first.
Yes, as I'm still thinking.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
One story I can think of at the top of my head right now, looking at my collection, and literally found the one that just struck my eyes instantly. But the Dalek Invasion of Earth, which was a first Doctor story from 1965, I believe it was, and it was it was a good story, but in terms of how it was actually directed, so sloppy. Like the camera moved awkwardly, the direction was very off. The actors could have been better, and literally there's some shots where a monster isn't supposed to be, and like there's this really dangerous monster that's not a Dalek, but it's something from the home world, and it's in the shot, and the characters just walk past it like it's nothing, and I'm like, bruh. And for any other issues I may have with it, well, it's a Termination script, isn't it? So, Termination problems. I mean, I can literally list all these other stories that, have issues. Because there's a lot of stories I have issues with, but there's a lot of stories that I love as well. So, anyone else have an answer yet?
I have a little. It's like a mixture.
Yeah.
But it's all all surrounding one character.
Oh.
I feel like Bill was a wasted character. I feel like her character entirely was wasted, and it did like. I know a lot of criticisms about her sort of run of the show was that her stories just didn't really connect. There was no like real overarching stories, and they were just kind of everywhere. But I feel like some of the episodes made sense in content, like when it came to the Master and the Mistress when they met each other. I feel like that was very interesting. But they ended up running this character great in the beginning. It slowly started to fall off, especially with her being killed and turned into a Cyberman, only for her consciousness to be placed back into the Water Lady's conscious. That was sort of weird. I don't know what happened there, but I feel like Bill was wasted, and it was especially sad because she was a lesbian. No, I feel like it could have been done better. It could have been done a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I liked Bill as a character, and I liked Series 10, but I do agree with that, and it was like, how they handled her being a lesbian, it was literally like, oh, I'm gay every few episodes, and we're like, okay, but are we actually going to build upon this? Moffat turns around, it's just like, wait, what? We're meant to actually do something here?
I haven't watched Doctor Who in nearly 10 years.
Oh, damn, it's been a while then.
I watched 9 through part of 11.
Yeah.
And I can't really remember any of the storylines.
You fell off the grid. No, that's fair enough.
I don't get them over here in America anymore, and I don't want to pay for it, so I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
I will send you. Cut this out the video. I will send you all my pirated stuff. Don't worry about it.
There was like stuff in 11 that I just did not like because I didn't like the character 11, but that's gonna be about the best answer I can give you.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I'm not really one much for opinions with like any type of media. I'm mostly someone that just enjoys like watching stuff and doesn't try to get into like, oh, maybe they should do this better,
Yeah.
or this was not as good as I thought. The one thing I would say is, I didn't care too much This is for Clara as a character and the writing and her writing surrounding her. I just there was a lot with her going on, and that's for me that wasn't.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a really interesting question, actually. I didn't expect to get quite a response to this, really. Okay, Withered Wolf 3 Productions asked, what keeps you motivated to continue with the series? For me personally, I mean, it's depending on the story and depending on what's going on. I sort of like trying to come up with all these ideas. I try to write as many, not as many scripts as possible, but try and keep myself focused on the series. Just do writing. Anything that particularly gets me excited for the series, and writing gets me excited. No. But then there's also other reasons, like, depending who I want to see the episode. Like, I remember, what was it? Prisoners of Reality, which was part 2 from Bloodshock. That came about faster than I thought because of the fact that I wanted Kat, because Kat really enjoyed Bloodshock, and I wanted her to see the episode, so I got it done a bit quicker than I thought I would have done. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's like one of my best stories. That's a little bit of interesting info there. But then with, was it Phantoms on the Night, which was the ghost story, which is still going on. We're almost on part 2. Well, we are on part 2 now, but the part 2 is coming along, and it will be uploaded sometime this month, hopefully. Don't see why not. But the reason why I was very motivated to do that story was I had a reveal at the end of the first episode of an old monster I was bringing back, and it was not in any Minecraft mod. I paid to get the model done. It was a classic monster from the Tom Baker era, and I knew nobody was going to be expecting it, so that, the excitement of seeing people's reactions to this, huge surprise really drove me on to finish the story. And I'm really happy with the response it had, though, because people really didn't expect that to come along. Does anyone else have anything to add to that on, like, motivation?
Mine's entirely selfish. I'm not gonna lie. I unfortunately I'm a college student, so I haven't had time to actually watch the series for Danny from Danny.
Yeah.
But I have edited 5 scripts for you now.
Yeah, you something like that.
And so my motivation for it is it's making me better at what my future job would be, and it's just easier for me to look at scripts than, watch videos sometimes.
So who's next? We're going to cherry pick. Okay, Josh221, favourite scene and least favourite scene. But I can change this to, like, performance-wise, like, depending if you've seen, an episode you're in, and you're like, maybe I could have done that bit better. So, for me, favourite scene was probably the scene where Vianna's character dies again, Rachel's character, because she finally gets to see Summer for the last time in the kind of virtual world kind of thing, and I thought that was really tragic, but like kind of beautiful at the same time that they finally had like the last final chance to see each other, because Summer died years before Rachel did, and it's just very melancholic, and I like melancholic scenes, and actually someone cried with that scene, and that makes me very happy. I wonder who. Looks like Cat. Least favourite scene, actually I'm going to name like 2 stories completely overall. Birth of a Time Lord, Last of the Pharaohs, I do not like them. I mean, where it kind of it was the beginning of the series overall, but I do have like the mindset of like remaking them every now and again because it looks so choppy. The writing was just whack, and they had the ideas, but they were a mess, and the actors just two or three actors dropped out during the production of those stories, and I remember that really annoying me. But things happened, and actually Jason here actually took over from one of those actors, because Jason played Sergeant Blaketon.
I remember I was watching back the episodes again because I haven't watched them before and I wanted to. I remember watching my first episode, and Haley is on the couch with her dad, and they're like having this conversation back and forth, and then the TV turns on, and it's my voice immediately after my voice. So it's me going from Haley to the reporter in like one line, and I'm like, wait a sec, hold on. Wow, that lady sounds awfully lot like me. Probably a weird alien thing that I don't know about yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, didn't she die? She died actually. Yeah, the TV presenter. But is there any particular moment you thought like, ah, that was really good actually? I'm quite surprised and impressed with that kind of thing.
One of Haley's beginning lines. It was when her friend's boyfriend and her love interest were in the apartment, and they were offering her Scolopate or whatever the fuck it's called.
You said it
And
right actually.
I remember they were offering her drugs, and Haley was like, "Fuck you guys," and like straight up just started cursing them out. Just started cursing them out. She literally called her best friend a slut as she left. It was so funny. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I was like, when I listened to those
Literally.
lines, I was like, that's intense. Fucking hell.
I think for me, a lot of the super emotional scenes that I had to do, like the scenes with the doctor,
Some of the more
being
intense moments, like from Princess
yeah,
Reality,
yeah, exactly, like where she's like just super like emotional and stuff. I think those scenes are really, really good.
yeah.
And I really enjoyed doing them, and I think they turned out fantastic. They're definitely heartbreaking, and yeah, they're definitely a lot of my favorite scenes are where she's like, showing emotions properly.
But any moments you wish you could redo now, kind of thing.
None specifically that I can think of, just like some when I watch the final product and I'm like, oh, I wish that I changed my voice for that one, or I wish I reflected that one better,
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I'm like,
that's understandable.
I'm like, oh, that could have been better if I had this inflection in my voice. But that's really about it. I think everything else about the show is really good.
I mean, I haven't voiced that many characters. I voiced
Rachel.
I don't think it was Summer, the other one, and I voiced Innocence, and I think Innocence was probably my favorite to voice,
Yeah.
just because I don't get to be that creepy character all the time.
Oh no, that was Innocence.
I think the only scene that's not my scene, I can't remember exactly what script it was. I think it was actually from. Well, I mean, like just from what I was editing, there was a couple
Yeah.
of scenes that have come up in the last couple, before the most recent ones you sent me,
Oh,
that I've read and was like, oh, this is so bad, but I don't know how to fix this nicely.
no, good question, that one. Josh. So who's next? Yum Yum. To everyone, what has been your favourite part of working on this series? My
The
favourite part...
spoilers.
The spoilers.
Sorry.
My favourite part on working on this series is... writing the more intense, dark, or emotional scenes. So this is more of a writing thing here. But that's my favourite part of working on the series. Jason's just spoilers. They like the spoilers.
It's the spoilers I get, and whenever when I put the script on Google Docs and I start highlighting them, I go through the lines to see how they're gonna sound, and then whenever I go back to them, I finalize them. I like looking through them and just making fun of the dialogues. just kind of going through them and just. I remember, I think someone pulled out a gun at one point, and I started cracking jokes at that. Just like, yes, gun, violence, yes. Just
I love a good bit of violence. What about you, Kat?
For me, it's being able to voice act for a series that I think is actually incredibly well written and well produced. A lot of projects I've worked on in the past, they're all right, they're decent, this was fun, but I think this one is like really well made, and it's something I really enjoy watching. So I'm really excited and really happy to be a part of that.
Okay, that really makes me happy actually.
So well
I feel like
thought.
an asshole.
Terrible, mine's
Shit.
gonna be terrible now.
I'm gonna fire my script editor.
I think my favorite part of the series is how much red editing I can send back to Danny.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I annoyed Danny at one point because one of the newer scripts he sent me, I sent back like half red. It was like I was so proud of it.
but yeah, that was a good question actually. So we've got another one from Dynamic. What's your favourite episode of the series? Now, this is one I'm really interested in.
Oh god. I have 3.
Oh god, wait, I mean it's good.
And this is from me just reading the scripts from what I
Yeah.
remember, because I haven't watched all of them yet. But for me, reading the scripts, my favorite 3 episodes is the episode where where Haley was introduced, the episode where Haley was killed and created into this amalgamation thing. I literally got into an argument with Danny about how she died again. And then and then my third favorite is actually the one that is currently up on the channel, mainly because of the whole dynamic between Haley and this other fucking dude who's just a fucking cursive fuckboy. That's the best way to explain it. Cursive fuckboy.
Yeah.
So far, those are my favorite. The first episode where I was introduced, I can remember it so well, mainly because I remember there was a kissing scene with Haley and the love interest. They were just sitting on there, and her dog gets fucking stolen. Like, my dog! Haley should get a new dog, by the way. That's what I propose. Get Haley a new dog.
Vouch.
Ouch,
I was
vouch.
drinking that. I almost got my drink out. Oh.
Anyways, continue. I'm sorry.
Right. Cat?
Bloodshock.
Bloodshot.
That is all.
Do you mean as in the overall story kind of thing, or just in one episode?
Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
You make it so easy.
I really like Bloodshock.
Yeah, we know now.
It is actually one of the episodes that have not been released yet.
Oh damn! Okay.
It's one of the next ones, and I'm so excited to see the voice acting from these two, and I
Have
can't
we not
wait.
gotten that script either yet?
Probably not. I think it's still in finalization.
Oh god.
Is this the finale by any chance, or?
I think it's the finale, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're not gonna see the script for a while.
The
Big
very
finale.
final part of it is my favorite part of what I've edited so far.
But at the minute for what's currently out, it's actually Bloodshot: The Prisoners of Reality, because I thought it had a good mix of tragedy, had a good bit of, it had a fun side to it, I'd say, because it was very different. I thought it was quite unique to an extent. And I don't know if anyone agree with me, but that's how I felt about it. And I really liked doing all the horror stuff in it, like Haley getting mauled at one point was a lot of fun.
Literally had a fucking argument about it.
Oh yeah, and I mean Daniel stepping on the eyeball was a lot of fun. The doctor getting the face ripped off was a lot of fun.
Am I missing?
Jeez.
I sound like a psychopath.
I'm just hearing all this because I've only read the script so far. I don't remember the doctor getting their face ripped off. What the fuck?
I'm in the same boat. I think that was one of the scripts I edited.
Oh god. Then we got a question from Andrew. He asked, "Where do you look when looking for inspiration for a story?" Okay, that's one of his questions. You put 2. I mean, inspiration for a story. Bloodshot as a story for years. That was like an idea I came up with years ago because it was a completely something different. It was about the time a villain trying to get revenge on the Doctor by manipulating other people and make it all the Doctor's fault kind of thing. It was a very different kind of story. But then as it evolved around, throughout the years, but it I returned to the idea eventually because there was something there. I kept looking at it and I was like, So I opened up again, gave it a read, and I was like, this stinks. So I was like, what can I do to repair this? And I thought, well, what if I did a story to do with virtual reality, but have it so the story actually revolves around it's actually the Doctor's fault? Because the thing with Bloodshot: Prisoners of Reality, you do have these two, where you have one political character who's using the whole virtual reality as like a political game kind of thing. But you also got the hybrid. But the actual villain of the story, and I'm not sure if everyone's clicked onto this, the actual villain is the Doctor. Not on purpose, but she kind of goes into this situation, thinks, oh, there's something to sort out here, and she actually makes things a whole lot worse. Like the hybrid wouldn't have happened, people would have died in the virtual reality if she didn't go in. So she fucked up really badly. The reason why I did that was because I wanted to do a story where it tests the Doctor's morality and literally say her morality is fucked. Because if you actually watch Doctor Who, her morality is all over the place. Okay, so next question from Andrew, and this can actually be for everyone. If you were to become the showrunner for the actual show, do you think you'd do these stories or come up with a new concept?
It wouldn't exist because my fucking motivation is 0. If I was the showrunner, I'm literally trying to run a show. We started it before COVID.
Yeah.
It's not out. It's not out. It's not even close. We had to scrap it, do a new series. It's gonna take forever. So probably wouldn't be out. It'd probably just still be concepts in the work.
I feel that.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Like Minecraft Doctor Who took me years to actually get to a series I wanted to do. Because I think, Jason, you may know this, because I think I did try and cast you in roles before, and other Minecraft Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah.
And they just went nowhere. They really went nowhere. But this is one I actually have like full confidence in. I'm really happy making. So, that's pretty neat. But like, for me, show running, I would do something, that's not. I wouldn't do the stories I kind of do in a minute. I would come up with a new concept. But the one thing I would have is a female Doctor, because throughout me trying to do Minecraft Doctor Who, the one thing that made me disinterested in Minecraft Doctor Who is because everyone felt the need of having a male Doctor because a female Doctor had been unheard at the time. But I was actually really interested in the female Doctor, but I wasn't sure whether to take the risk or not. And so I thought maybe I'd do a male Doctor first and then imply a female Doctor and then have a female Doctor later. But I obviously didn't want to do that. So when I started the series up again after doing the prequel stuff, I decided to have a female Doctor. And originally it was Sharwalk, who was absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately she couldn't take on the role any longer after a while, which was fair enough. And Kat came along, who I think is just, twice as brilliant, But yeah, I would definitely have a female Doctor. Monsters, I have a load of like new monsters, but then have some old monsters. But I wouldn't lose like ones that always get used all the time in like classic, in New Who at the minute, not classic Who, but New Who. Like I would have like Daleks, I would have Cybermen, but it'll be used very sparingly, and I'll probably look more to the classic series and say like what's possible to bring back that hasn't actually been brought back yet, kind of thing. Okay, so we've got literally only 2 questions left now. Okay, so Jade asks, how do you decide on... Oh god, these questions are just for me. Sorry guys. Okay, how do you decide on what speed the pacing should be for each episode? Well, I try to, make sure there's a lot happening in the episodes, like a lot of action, a lot of, not a lot of twists, but the occasional twist like sort of change things, how the story could drive on. A lot of character moments. So I kind of just try to... Well, I do try to stop the episode at points because sometimes you need to kind of slow down for a moment to kind of like breathe in. How do you write quite long episodes? I mean, sometimes I literally go into a story and think, I'm going to write this one relatively short, maybe just like one episode, maybe a 30-minute script. And then I actually write it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on page 50.
Yep.
Oh. And it was like recently, I had a Christmas special in mind, but to actually have the story work, it had to be 2 episodes rather than 1 episode. So I was like, this is going to be a series 2 script, isn't it? It's going to be a series 2 story. So, it's probably a good thing we didn't get more questions actually, because yeah, it is nearly an hour. But yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye, Whovians or people or whoever uses the internet.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So hello everyone, so this is the final segment of the video and I'm here with Andrew today because someone didn't make it for the Q&A.
That's me. I'm the one that didn't make it. That's me.
Andrew, why?
I know. I locked myself in a bathroom for like 2 weeks or whatever it was. 2 weeks.
Damn,
I've been there the whole time.
So we're going to start right from the top. To everyone, This is from Yum Yum.
Oh.
What has been your favourite part when working on this series?
Well, my part has been pretty restricted to... Actually, no, I was going to say it's been restricted to like voice acting, but then again, like I've seen some of the scripts like a little bit ahead of time. I've seen some ideas a little bit ahead of time. I don't know, actually. That raises a couple more
Well,
answers.
I mean, you know a lot of... you know a lot of details in the series that no one else knows.
That's true. I guess that would probably be my favorite part. Like
Yeah.
learning some of these details ahead of time and then being able to actually see them in
Unfold.
an episode. Yeah.
So the next question is from Dynamic Entertainment. What's your favourite episode of the series?
Ooh, I don't know. I really like Frostbite, but then also
You change your mind quite a lot in this. To be
I
fair.
change my mind a lot with this one because I go back and forth. But then I also like Children of Winter with the scene where they're going through London.
Yeah.
The car chase. I really like that scene.
Yeah, I like that.
I love when episodes like because you kind of expect that episode to open back on like the base and with like the Nazi stuff, but then it goes back to London and you go back to sort of a bit of a backstory.
How he ended up there.
Sort of like So it's I quite like that. I'm gonna go to Children of Winter.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, so this is not related to the series really, but it's related to the actual show. So this is from Wendering1234. If you could pick one story from the entire series that you didn't like or think doesn't hold up too well, classic or revive combined, what would you do to change or better that story? Can't choose The Time as Children, as that'd be cheating.
I've already told you my joke answer for this one, which is that I would choose Underworld and I would have it never be created.
I mean,
because it's just
absolute dog shit.
it's worse than dog shit. I don't know if an actual answer. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like too many to pick from, isn't there?
Yeah, I'll go with my joke answer. I'll go with Underworld and that I wish it was never created.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty shocking story. It's pretty shocking.
I did a full watch through from Pertwee all the way through to McCoy, and as soon as I got to that episode, I was sat there just in shock. Like, this is how, who, why?
It was something.
There's my answer, which wasn't super serious, but it's the only story that pops into my head when you say, what story would you change?
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, Withered Wolfie Productions asks, what keeps you motivated to continue with the series? I mean, this was for me, but, you make a series as well. You can answer this if you want.
Like for my series?
Yeah.
Ooh. Honestly, seeing other people making the episodes as well, because there was one point where there was a lot of content coming out from a lot of people.
There was, yeah.
At the same time, so it was kind of impossible not to be motivated by something.
There was a lot of excitement, wasn't there?
There'd be weekends where, say, if I had an episode coming out on the Sunday, there'd be another episode on the Sunday before mine. There'd be 2 episodes coming out on the Saturday, and we were getting regular like series 11 or 12 news and stuff, like set pictures and like just any Doctor Who news or content.
Yeah.
Like with Flux going on at the minute.
There seems to be a bit of an excitement
recording.
Again.
Yeah, I'm more motivated with the actual show going on because there's little storylines. There's like the odd line that's thrown in, and I keep thinking like, ooh, what if I expanded on something like that? And
there's
then
a lot to talk about as well. So
yeah.
There's a lot to talk about. Okay, so next question is from Jade. How do you decide on what speed the pacing should be for each episode, and how do you write quite long episodes? I mean, you can answer this as well for your own series if you want.
Honestly, it kind of varies because I used to try and stick to a set amount of pages.
Yeah.
So that I'd realize how many pages I had left, and then I'd try and wrap the story up. But then upon rereading it, and some of my original episodes, I don't think I quite nailed that. I think I kind of just released the episodes and then I'd look back on them and be like, oh, actually, if I could change this. So it's kind of you've got to do what's right for the story. Either whether an episode is 15 minutes and then the next episode's 40 minutes. It just depends what fits the story, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. They've got some couple questions from this someone who's called Planet Zero. I don't know who that is.
Oh, that prick.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you look when looking for inspiration for a story?
I look to you, Planet Zero. I look towards Planet Zero. He's I know I just called him a prick, but he's my main inspiration. Love that guy. No, I think that's kind of the same answer I gave before. Like any kind of other Doctor Who content.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I look on like the Wikipedia things that like unmade stories, and I'll read like the synopsis of stories that were never made or never released or only had a synopsis, like a brief summary, and then I'll like spin a story out of it. But yeah, that.
If you were to become the showrunner for the actual show, do you think you'd do these stories or come up with a new concept?
Well, I asked that because with my series, obviously, I had the stuff with like Solra and the prototype, and I was thinking I would like to do that if I was the actual showrunner, but I feel like it's a bit much for actual Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So it was more sort of my curiosity about like what you would do. Would you do this same kind of like story, or do you think you'd do something similar to like another showrunner? Another showrunner.
It's like I asked this earlier on in the video, but obviously since it's not out, you don't know the answer, so I'll say again. Is that I'll do something new, but one thing that I will keep is like a female doctor, because I've gone bored of the male doctor idea. It's kind of like got tired at this point, and I think we need to sort of have different kinds of doctors. Josh221 asks, favourite scene and least favourite scene. So this could be for your series, or it could be for how you played Daniel. So, things you would have preferred, better, or, kind of,
Well, my least favourite scene that I played Daniel would have to be, and like this is against me, by the way. It's my German accent in Frostbite. And I know it's supposed to be bad.
It is supposed to be bad, yeah.
It is supposed to be, and thank fuck, because it's awful. Because I was like listening back to it, and I was like, oh, why? It's not good. Favorite one? Actually, there's the next episode that isn't out yet.
Yeah.
That when I was recording the lines for that, I messaged you just afterwards after I did it. And weirdly, I don't know what it was. I don't know if I felt like I had more fun doing those lines than, I don't know why. Maybe I was just in a really good mood, but I had fun doing all those lines.
Okay,
and there's some quite fun lines I get to say as well.
Yeah, some very kind of like different lines.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it was just.
It's a very like it's gothic horror story, but it's a very kind of different story as well. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because something happens in the story that it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very different, and it has been implied, but I'm not going to say it here because.
Yeah.
I've got to keep these secrets myself, I've got to keep something secret. Okay. But yeah, that's all the questions actually. So thank you for coming along and doing with these. Yeah, I know, not many, is there?
No, it probably would go quicker when there's more than just me. But
yeah,
I guess I'm the bonus features at the end. I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye, people of the internet or people Whovians. I don't know. I don't like saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.